Okay, let's get started. Hi guys, happy Thursday. We made it through hump day. We're almost to the end of the week. This is the last day of offset though, so it's the end of my week. I'm very excited to be here. Got a loaded day for you guys. This is the first of 3 shows where I'll be your host, and today I'm having one of my best friends on, Anika Aggarwal. I'm very excited. She's extremely talented. She's also the host of Let's InDesign, which is on every Tuesday at 4 p.m. And today we'll be staying on brand for her. We'll be going and we'll be looking at some InDesign. We'll be looking at some branding. We'll be looking at anything that she brings to the table. And I'm really excited to have her on. We had her on, I think, the season 1 of Offset, and that was a longer one. Today we're only going to be here for 30 minutes before we have to bid her adieu. But I'm excited to bring her on. I'm sure most of you guys know her. Also, hello to so many people in the chat. Thank you, Cody, for being the mod. Hello to Sean, Stuart, Oliver, Penny, Viola, Stuart, Sam. Hey, Sam. What's going on, Sam? Hey, Mike. It's good to have you guys here. Also, Andre. And yeah, without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and bring in the guest. So she's been here many times before, but welcome back again to Anika. Hi, Anika.
Hey, how you doing, Ryan?
I am so relaxed. I'm so zen right now. I definitely was not running around grabbing coffee minutes before we started today. How are you?
Me neither. Of course, I did not do all of the things and throw my laundry from the back. Of course, I did not do that.
We're
What's up? How is
professionals
everybody in the chat? Yeah, of course.
here. But yeah, so today we're gonna be looking at some I keep almost saying LinkedIn for some reason, but today we're looking at InDesign.
LinkedIn, yes.
Which is InDesign is a great step to get to your LinkedIn, but today we're looking at some brand design, right?
Yes, we are. I was working on, as Ryan mentioned, I was working on this brand in Offset season 1, and I was working on this museum brand. And also, this is my website that you can see on the screen. So, if you want to reach out, if you're a small business or if you're a big business, if you're a content creator or a graphic designer, you can hop onto my website. I am also speaking at Max this year, which I'm really excited and honored about. And I have like 2 sessions, which is really
Next week,
fun.
right?
It is next week, yeah.
Wow, that snuck up on me. I'm so excited. What are your sessions about this year?
So I am speaking on an InDesign session, which is essentially building your design workflow. So even if you've been working in InDesign, it's a little bit for intermediate users, but also focused on beginners. I try to keep my tutorials and sessions very accessible. So all of these sessions explain the details like from the get-go. And so there's an InDesign session that happens on Tuesday, the 18th of October. And there is one that happens, this is the Asia Pacific region. So this essentially is at 10:30 p.m. Pacific time, which is kind of late. But the good thing about the virtual Max is that it's free and you can watch the replays anytime you want. So yeah, that's my plug right there.
It's free, but the information is priceless. So
Absolutely.
it's
Yes.
a
There
give
you
and take
go.
for you. I'm
There
so
you go.
excited to see them. I know you worked really hard on them, and I know you were really excited about them. So I'm excited
Yeah.
for it to be Max Week in general, but I'm also just excited to see your segments. So we'll have to
Thank you.
stay tuned for that.
Yeah, absolutely. I was excited to see there were like 10K signups for the InDesign session and 5,000 for the Adobe Express session, which is surreal. I was like, oh, if this was in person, it would be absolutely nerve wracking.
Oh, it would be absolutely nerve wracking if you had to look at the faces of people. No, thank you.
Yeah.
Absolutely no
Yeah.
thanks.
Yeah. But without further ado, let's dive into what we're doing today, shall we?
Yeah. So what are we doing? What's this? What is our
Um,
goal on screen?
well, so this is the brand that I was creating in Offset Season 1, and this is a museum brand, and not really a museum brand, but I would say that this is a virtual reality museum that I was working on. It's called VR Art, or WA for short. The goal here for the brand and the brand values essentially signify that we want to make museums and art accessible and a hassle-free experience for everyone. And in this scenario and in this world of in this progressive world of VR, I just wanted to make everything accessible to me, which is what I felt during the pandemic. And this has been a long work in progress. So I thought, let's just use Offset Season 3 as an opportunity to keep working on it.
Yeah,
So
man.
let's
Meta had a thing yesterday where they actually showed off, or maybe it was 2 days ago. They showed off a
yeah.
new like $1,400 headset that they say they're trying to replace a laptop with, which is crazy. So obviously, I mean, it only time will tell if it will be successful, but definitely
Yeah.
VR and immersive experiences that are virtual are
Yeah.
only going to increase over time. So this makes sense.
Absolutely. Yeah. So this is what we came up with last time. If you did not watch the live stream, go back and watch the replay for Offset Season 1 with Ryan and I. But this is what we came up with last time. I think it was a 2 hour thing we were doing. I don't really remember. But it was a really fun stream exploring all the logo variations. But we ended up with this guy because this is very pentagram polisher inspired and I really love her work. And I wanted to keep it flowing and like big shapes and still very abstract. So I can make like patterns out of it in the end or use these as in the brand language later on for flyers and event stuff. So this is the full logo lockup we have right here. We have the logo here and just the color palette and just different variations of how it's going to look with black. I'm sorry, black, white. Do not mean black. And we see Ryan here, the head curator. Sorry, you're
I'm the
getting to
head
see color and
curator.
weird.
Wow, I am so qualified.
Wow.
Get it.
Just a business card variation that I'm gonna try to create today because we only have like about 20 minutes left. I'm just gonna run through this. I started working on some brochure design, and this is what I was gonna plan to cover today. So business cards and tickets with stubs. I think nobody ever covers tickets with stubs, so I'm gonna start with that. And this is like a floor map that I was starting to work with. And like, hey, it's just empty space because it's a VR museum. So maybe you can go to the equipment gallery and get your VR headsets and then go to level. Oh, this is supposed to be one. I forgot to change that. But hey. Yeah, so let's jump into InDesign. There's some design, some language going on here. I wanted to
Aw,
create some signage.
look at the little family.
Yeah, right? So cute.
Look at the little family.
And there's some patterns going on over here as well that can be posted on everywhere basically. But here's InDesign and I am on the business cards, which is not where I wanted to be. I want to be on the event tickets. All right, so when I say event tickets, I don't know if you all have ever been to any kind of event, but when you go to an event, there's like a ticket stub that has basically typically has like a barcode information and like a crease at the end that you can tear off and give it to the person at the gate or at the entrance, and they just like scan it and see that you're one person for that one ticket. And that's essentially what we're creating today. Let me know in the chat if you guys have actually ever done that. I don't know, I'm curious. Ryan,
And
have you
so do
ever?
you I see you have CC libraries up. Do you
Yeah,
organize your work a lot of times with CC libraries?
I do actually. Yeah, I think CC libraries are a great way to essentially do something like this because I have all the logo variations right here. I have the full lockup and just the iconic mark right here. I have the information I need for the event tickets that I already compiled because I did not have enough time today. So I was like, let's do some prep. And I have some images that I pulled from Adobe stock. Some of these are Unsplash as well. So these are all stock assets. And then the color palette. I think this makes the workflow really easy because in the end, I don't have to go back to Illustrator. Essentially, if I did not have this information in my CC library, I would be going and copy pasting this here. It's not too much time that's it's taking right now, but it really adds up when you're doing a lot of
It adds
things.
up and also it makes the file so much bigger. I think when you have CC libraries, your
Yeah,
actual file size is a lot lower because it doesn't
yeah,
have to store things within the document itself.
exactly. So I wouldn't want to do that, but I'm just like while talking, I can just start working on it. And if you guys have any questions, you can let us know in chat.
Now, do you have any recent memory of any? I mean, it's tough because COVID, but any recent events that you've gone to where you've been like, "Wow, this is a really cool ticket stub."
Oh, I actually did go to the Kusama art exhibit. There was an art installation right here in the Art Gallery of Ontario, Canada, Toronto, Canada. And that was my first Kusama experience and I really loved it, but it only lasted 60 seconds. And as soon as I got in, I took one photograph in the mirror thing. And I was like, oh, it ended already. What is this world? And they
Just
just
enough to get it.
knocked. Yeah, and they just knocked at the door and like, oh, you're done. And I'm like, oh, is this like punishment? What just happened?
Yeah, no,
um,
that's
it's
tough. I mean, they're just
insane.
so popular.
Yeah.
Was the one that you stood in, was it
Yeah.
this
It was the Infinity Mirror Room.
yeah, is it this infinity
Yeah,
mirror
it
room?
is. Yeah, it
Oh,
is.
very cool, with all the different mirror balls and stuff. I've actually never seen one of her infinity rooms. I've heard a lot about them, and I've had lots of friends that have seen them, but I've never
Yeah.
gone to one myself.
Yeah, it's insane. The experience itself is really cool, but I would say that it was less of a touch and go situation for me rather than being a whole experience because I was honestly expecting more time. I was like, oh, if I'm gonna experience something like this, I need more time to
Right.
actually be there in the moment. But of course, in this age of social media, I feel like being there in the moment just meant like in that 1 minute, I was just clicking a photograph of myself being in the moment. I was not
Right.
really enjoying the moment. So I was like, hey, can I come back?
But I mean, I guess with your new VR museum, you can spend as much time as you want there.
Exactly.
No one's
Yeah.
gonna be
So
knocking on the door. I mean, someone might be knocking on the door, but you can just keep the headset on and you're fine.
exactly. You're like, oh, I didn't see you there. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, wait, I can't see you. I'm sorry. So, so you've got this bust of like a head going on,
Yep.
and now did you clip that out through like
Um,
Photoshop or something, or is it?
I
Um,
didn't actually. So if I had organized my layers, it would have been much nicer. But let me just put this on the side. So this is essentially like an image that's inside a frame. So whenever you drag something in InDesign, it automatically, like if it's an image, it automatically creates an image frame for you. And I can change the sizing of this from right here. And you can see that the image still exists. If I double click on this, that's the orange line that you see right here is essentially where the image lies, and it's spanning the whole screen. If I press W on my keyboard, that you can see right here, the shortcut, it's the trim view, and I can essentially see what it's going to be like when I print it out. This has also a bleed right here. The blue line and the red line right here indicates a bleed that I have put on the side because I'm printing this out and I need to take care of because it is edge to edge. I want to make sure that it spans to the edge when I cut it out after I print from the printer.
and you just set that up in your document setup.
I did, yeah. So you can go to file and you can go to adjust layout. That's the great thing about InDesign that you can essentially change the layout once you've even created a document. So you don't need to go back and set up a new document from scratch. You can just change the width and height and also change the margins and the bleed from right in there. You can also change the font size. I've never really done that. I should probably do that. You can also change the orientation, but I really don't want to do that for this one. So I'm just going to click out of it. And yeah, let's just create a paragraph style. How much time do we have left? Oh, we have time. Okay, not too
I
bad.
guess
All right.
you're doing good. We've
Yeah.
already learned so
Okay.
much
Cool.
today. Um, and now you're hopping into styles right now, right? So you said?
Yeah, I'm just trying to create misspelled it to dare, but I'm just creating a date style here. I usually call it or call the style name by the name of the font family that I'm using, but today I'm just doing it really quickly, so I'm just calling it date because I wanna first few things when you're creating any kind of asset for any brand would be thinking about what information you want to display. Typically, if you're not making this yourself, you would get that information from your clients, but since this is a self starter project and this is a passion project, I'm just using the information that I have seen a lot of times. So that essentially includes what the exhibition is about, where it is happening, when is it happening, how can I find more about it. So I think those are the four important questions that I want to include here. And as I always say, use one font family that has multiple font weights so that I can create consistency and hierarchy in my design. So I'm just using regular bold, which has been my ultimate favorite. I've just been using it in all my designs. I think I should stop. It's like I'm that way with color palettes and now I'm that way with this font. I don't
It's
know
kind of like
what
when
to
you
do.
hear a new song and you just listen to the
It's a
same song over
problem.
and over
Yeah.
again until you're like, I hate this
uh,
song now. It's a great
funny you
font though.
mentioned that.
I
Funny you
mean,
mentioned that.
you're not. I don't think you've exhausted it yet. I like to see it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's not too bad right now, but if I keep doing it like in a lot of my designs, I think it might be
Yeah, I
exhausting.
mean, there's some designers that would never change their type kit selection. They just kind of
Yeah,
work with it for decades. I
yeah,
get a little bit antsy myself, but yeah, I also, man, typeface selection gives me so much anxiety. There's so many
yep,
nuances to it, and they say so many different things in subtle ways subconsciously to your viewer.
yeah.
I'm just constantly trying to figure it out.
Yeah, it's kind of like color as well. Like even if you know your color theory, there are sometimes when you just get stuck with it. I'm like, oh, how would this look? These I love these three, but which one should I pick?
Right.
Um, yeah,
So do you
very
ever like
easy.
save styles or anything, and then when you're working on projects from the same brand, do you like bring them over, or do you recreate them whenever you go to any new document?
I do save styles. I have some styles here, but I can go ahead and save the style in my library as well. So I can click on this guy and save this paragraph style right here. So if I do this, it's going to save the style. Exhibition name is the style name, regular medium 14 points. And so I can just use it with an Illustrator now, and I can see what style I use. So if I have this library right here, that's the style I added. So I can use it within all my Creative Cloud apps. Sorry, kind of a brain fog there.
Um,
Yeah.
and since we are in the middle of an offset episode, I feel the need to at least do one segment that we have,
Yeah.
and that's the one that we have. I didn't know that was there.
What? I didn't know that was there.
What is something that you can teach me that will revolutionize the way that I use InDesign? And guess what? It's a low bar because I'm not that great at InDesign.
I think I don't really. Okay, did you know that InDesign can create QR codes?
It can create what?
QR codes?
No. How
What?
can it create QR codes?
Oh, this is great. Okay, so I'm gonna bring in a website right here. Let's just do
Let's do
my
your
website.
website.
Yeah, so I can just paste it right here and I can select all this and I can right click. Oh, wait, how does it do? How does it do it again? Oh my gosh. Is that one of
I,
those moments when I forget how things work? Oh
Shame on
no.
me because
Okay.
I definitely sprung this on you, but I'm already
Wait,
intrigued by
hold
the
on.
fact that
I
you
know
know
how
how
to
to
do
do
this.
QR
I
code.
literally showed this on my stream the other day. I totally forgot how it works. But let's just go and create a hyperlink until then so that I have at least something. Okay. But you can right click. I know how it works. You can right click and generate a QR code. So if you have a hyperlink within your document anywhere in a text box, you can create generate QR code and you can write whatever content you want. You can select the type of content you have. So if you have a web hyperlink, I'm going to select that and paste in the URL. Click OK, and there you go. Bam. You can scan this now and go to my website, go to my map
Wow, that's
sessions and sign
awesome.
up. Hello,
That's so good
hello.
to know. I would normally like go to some other generator or something, and it's nice to know that I can just stay within the app.
Yeah.
Penny Doodles is in the chat saying, "Open InDesign, say yikes, and go back to your comfort app." Oh, isn't that too
Exactly.
true? It's too true for me. It shouldn't be true, but it is. InDesign's so powerful, I just get so nervous. Um, but apparently, Adobe Express can also make QR codes, which is cool because I also know Adobe Express also does
Yeah.
conversion now for and like into GIFs, and I've used that before, which has been
Yeah,
really
Adobe
helpful.
Express also does the same thing. So I have it's just like one piece added to my workflow. So if I have the whole Adobe Creative Cloud suite, I don't need to use Adobe Express in this case. But if I'm just adding it to a page that I'm creating within Adobe Express, it's really handy. But if I'm just using InDesign, I can do it within InDesign. So I think
How'd
all
you get so
apps
good
work
at
that
Express? I feel like overnight you just like learned Express like the back of your hand. Get me
Express
there.
used to be Adobe Spark, and I used to use it on and off. But
Yeah.
Express is, I just feel like I'm not saying this as an Adobe Express ambassador, but I'm saying this as a normal human being who's also a designer. That Express is just such an easy app to learn that anybody can do it. Like if I can do it, you can do it. That sort of thing. Yeah.
Over in chat, Stuart saying that layer comp selection from Photoshop straight in InDesign. You don't need to create multiple images of something. That was a mind
Yeah.
blown moment for me. Oh, that's pretty cool.
Oh, that is cool. Yeah.
And what else? I was
I'm
gonna say
sorry. I'm
Express.
just.
Express just feels like somebody filled in all my crossword blanks for me, says Mike.
Oh.
But in a good way, and not the way when you're sitting in a doctor's office as a kid and someone had filled out all of the magazine trivia and find it's. It used to make me so mad.
Oh. I can't say I've had a similar experience, but I can kind of relate to that. I can understand that feeling. I can sympathize, not empathize. All right, so I'm just adding some texture. It looks like this is too small. This area is too small for this, so might have to do something about it. Might have to be creative about it, but for now I'm just gonna let it be. Now the thing I like about InDesign is that I don't need to create rectangular boxes. I know you had a guest yesterday, and I do it myself. I'm guilty as charged. That when I'm doing something in Illustrator, I would go ahead and create out rectangles to space it out from the corner of the screen, or like use a ruler and like find if it's like a 1 point box or whatever. But in InDesign, I don't really have to do anything because I have these two selected. It's gonna tell me that it's equidistant from all of these, and if it's like the same distance from the first guy, like these distances between these three objects is the same, and I feel like that's a mind blower and a game changer. That's what I wanted to say.
Mind blower and a game changer. It's like
But
chocolate and peanut butter, baby.
exactly. All right. I'm just adding this on the other side of this event thing, and I'm just gonna change the opacity, so bring it to normal because I want it to be like the blue color. Bring it to the side, and then I'm gonna drag out a logo in here as well. I feel like I don't have the white version in here, but maybe I can add it super quick. Hold on, let's see. Do we have it? We do have it. We do have this right here. Okay. So a simple way to add stuff to your CC library. I feel like everybody is super intimidated from CC libraries, and I still see people saying that, hey, you can use CC libraries like this. And it is just an amazing feeling when you can change someone's life by telling them that, hey, you can use a CC library and just drag stuff out. So I can just drag this out right here. I don't want it to the margin, but I'll think about how I can change that when I'm actually printing the design. But for now, I'm just going to put it edge to edge right here to my event thing. I do want this to be on the other side because someone who's never been to my museum before doesn't really know what WA stands for. And I just wanted to add another QR code in here as well that I previously generated from Adobe
InDesign.
Express, actually. No, this is Adobe
Ooh,
Express.
outside of the
Yeah.
app. It's coming
Yeah,
from
I
outside the
wanted.
app.
How dare you? No, I wanted the white background in here. A fun fact about QR codes is that you can actually place your logo on top as well, and it would still work. But I just wanted it to have like a white background inbuilt, so I just exported it from Adobe Express, easier to scan. But yeah, there we go. We have our event ticket already created. Wow, look at
Wow,
that!
look at
So
that.
efficient. I think I want to jump into like making a mock-up. Do we have time for that? Can I do that in 5 seconds? Yes, I can.
Yeah, see,
Okay.
how quick can you do? How quick can you
Um,
work?
I can export this into on my desktop. Wait, hold on. Is it working? Okay, hold on. Hold on.
Speed, Anika, speed.
I'm trying. Okay, export. All right. Did it crash my computer yet? No, it didn't. Okay, I'm gonna hit close to my Illustrator file just in case something happens. So I got this really fun ticket markup. I don't know from where. Don't ask me. It has been months, but it is probably a free stock asset that I can use in my work. So right over here it says double click here, and it's made everything for me. I just need to double click into the smart object and put in my ticket asset. So I'm gonna drag out what I exported on my desktop, which I'm trying to find right here. So this is what I just created in InDesign, and I'm just going to resize it and bring it out so I can actually use it here. Hold on. Let's see. Let's see if this works. Do we have 5 minutes? We do have 5 minutes.
We've got 2 minutes. So
Oh no.
what can you do in 2 minutes?
I'm just gonna make it like an ugly design for now. But since I see that there are some sizing issues, I did not really see where the stub's gonna be at. But in case I did actually know how it's gonna work, you know how it's gonna look like. Can I show you?
I mean, it's just remarkable how it just seamlessly updated like that and it just like plopped it in.
Well, yeah. So a different way to go about it would be have these two on different sizes, just different layers, just to have that part in here. Like I can just simply go ahead and mask it out in Photoshop as well, just for the sake of the mockup.
Mhm.
But let's see if I can do that. I'm just gonna duplicate this, and then I'm gonna create like a mask here. Do we have time for it? I think so. White reveals black. I just always forget. Just always forget. Can't do this. Sorry, this is too quick.
It's okay.
um,
I'm so impressed with the speed that you
let's
have
just
done.
say this. Okay, it's not too bad. I mean, there is something here that needs to
But
be
that could
till
also
here,
kind of be
and
cool. Like it also could be cool to have part of the image as part of the stub, you know?
well, it could be, and that's how this person without scanning the barcode would know that you've gone to this exhibition, right?
It's not a bug, it's a feature.
Exactly, you got it.
Cool. Well, thank
But
you so
if it
much
did,
for joining us today. We're going to be looking forward to your Max sessions next week. And make sure you guys all check out Anika's website. You can also catch her on Behance. You can catch her on YouTube. You can catch her on Twitter. You can check her on Instagram. She's all over the place. And I'm really looking forward to it. Does that mean that you don't have an InDesign show
Session
on
next
Tuesday?
week. Yeah, I don't have the Let's InDesign show on Tuesday this week coming up, but I have it on the 25th at 4 p.m. Eastern.
Cool. So it'll be back. Don't panic,
it'll be
everyone.
back.
It'll be good.
Yeah. Oh.
Thank you so much for being here, guys. Stay tuned. I'll be back in like 3 minutes with another guest, and we're gonna have a great time. So thanks for watching, and thank you to everyone in the chat that kept things going while we sped through this work. So
yeah, thanks for having me.
Thank
Bye.
you.